All right, welcome back, Cyber Traders. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully, everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. It is the first day of the month, November 1st. So, a lot of earnings that came out. Hopefully, everybody saw. We're going to talk a little bit about AMD. We got class phase 3 is going on today. Want to talk about some of those really good things we talked about in class. If some of you didn't see it, we're going to have to cover that. Just really quick and let you know what some of you people missed. But anyway, AMD, just want to touch upon it really quick because some people don't know how dangerous it is to trade in earnings announcements. Nice class, Grant, yesterday. Well, glad you enjoy it, Grant, and everyone else. And like I said, we still got today too, and hopefully we'll see you all there. By the way, if anybody here wants to know how to get into there, just make sure you talk to Education Advisor at CyberTrade University, and they will help you get in there. But anyway, AMD, let's talk about that. So earnings were good, right? That's what they said. How does the stock go from $98 like that to 93, and then an hour later it pops back up to 99? This is why, earnings, you're basically doing you're playing Russian roulette. You're playing black or red on the roulette. Okay. By the time these traders realize, is it really good? What about the conference call? What are they projecting on the future earnings? I was always taught one valuable lesson. I wanted to leave this little tip for everyone that I've learned as a market maker that my mentors passed down over generation to generation to generation. A company goes out of business every 3 months. Now you're like, what is that supposed to mean? I'll tell you what it means. They have to report how much money they make every 3 months, okay? Because they are a public company and they have people that are invested into their company, and that's what a shareholder is. I don't know if some people don't realize the concept of like, what does it mean, a stock, you could trade a stock. It's public, meaning other people could invest into it, and they have to report how good they're doing. So every 3 months they're going out of business, so they have to make sure they don't go out of business. That's why they have to report earnings. And then they're also focusing what they're projecting on the future returns. And that's usually what happens regarding about these stocks. But when you have a stock that trades earnings, this is why we don't trade earnings. You're basically got lucky. Could you imagine buying this stock? New earnings were good. You got in at 93. You're like, holy crap, I just lost about $8, $7 on it. You sell it. You wake up the next morning, it's right back where you started. Don't tell me it ever happened to anyone here, okay? Because I know it did, because that's why, that, and hopefully that's a good thing. So hopefully you learn it, you won't do it again, because I've done it myself, and that's why I rarely ever trade earnings announcements. So John says, I'm guilty of it. Well, listen, that's why we're all here. Listen, there's a lot of money to be made during the market open. Don't sit there and gamble, all right? We're not in the gambling business, all right? We are in the trading business, okay? So anyway, let's go do some shopping. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. A couple of good stocks made some big moves. Now, Pinterest, same exact crap, okay? Look what happened. Pinterest earnings came out, shot right down, did a crazy slingshot, came right back up. Even though it had the earnings the following day, it was good news. But listen, the stock gapped up pretty big. It's holding here pretty strong. It really wasn't the greatest stock to trade yesterday, other than if you got lucky and you got it somewhere earlier, right around here. But Pinterest was an okay stock. The Tupper lady worked out pretty well also around right in the middle of the day. I think there's a big short squeeze going on Tupper. I mean, we all remember trading Tupper back in July when it ran from 64 cents to about $6. It wasn't because they're selling and doing a lot of shows, okay? Maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But, listen, there's a lot of action. We love trading it. We traded back in December 10th. It ran from $1.20, ran to about $2.50. Nice move. Tupperware. Listen, I'm going to put it back on my watch list on Tupper. So TUP, I'm going to put that on my watch list again. Now, AMD, I know, some of us like to trade it. Remember, it is expensive. Okay. We're not a big fan trading $100 stocks. That's why a lot of people don't day trade. They trade swing trading and options because they figure they can't afford it. But if you are one of the advanced traders, it might be up your alley. AMD, I'll put it on the watch list, but it's on the second protocol. It's on my B list, my C list, not on my A list. All right. But we're going to put it back up there. Another stock that we traded. This one was really nice. This was comfortable. A lot better in the middle of the day. Stock ran from like $2, $1.90, all the way up to about $3. Really nice move. Took about an hour and a half to get there. Cheap, inexpensive, nice spread. I don't know if it's going to still be good this morning, but it looks like it's gapping up. I mean, 96,000 shares already in pre-mark, up 10%. I'll give it a shot. I'll put it back on the B list. Remember, that's how we know how we swing trade. Sometimes these stocks will trickle in the following day. This one got crushed. Okay, so the news on this stock was big drop. It's a retailer, a realtor, and they lowered their commissions, some crap like that, to the brokerage firms. The brokers' stock took a nasty hit. It did really well right around here, but my God, that thing, it's been on a really big downtrend. Still there's support levels. If you look back here and you go back from last year, so there was a really good snapback right around that 2 o'clock when it hit that 430 and shot to 480. But you could have found that out if you went back. And not only that, but what helps us out more than anything, following the big block orders. You got to look at level 4, which, by the way, we post a link up there. I'm going to be doing a live event. I'm going to be on actually tonight at 6 p.m. on Steve Bigelow's event. God bless his soul. Hope he rests in peace. I don't know if anybody heard that. Unfortunately, Steve Bigelow just passed away, and I think it was brain cancer or something like that. I don't know if you guys know about it, but, been a big, great friend of mine for almost like 15, 20 years. But I'm going to be on his event today. So if anybody's watching, I'll see you all there. And I'm going to talk about level 4 and everything else regarding it. Now, regarding what's going on this morning, a couple of stocks are moving this morning. Let's check them out right here. So anyway, let me go hop over here on AMD because I want to show you what we got going on level 4. So we got some big buyers showing up right around here. And when I scroll back a little bit further, you got these, you could do your swing trades. You see, you got some big at 96.50. That, that 100 is going to be a tough number to break. Okay. We're almost there, but it's going to be a really tough number to break. Now, regarding about that stock, I'm not really a big fan of it. I think this stock is a lot less expensive, a lot more fun, a lot more cheaper. The TGGX just took out a big iceberg order. You could see him right here. How big was that order when we saw it? 10,000. He got filled. So stock is moving up really, really nicely. The only issue with the stock, I just want to point this out, and I covered it in phase 3. Be careful of the tier sizes. Okay, everybody? The tier sizes are really, really, really light. So TGTX is on the watch list. Sometimes I always get something that pops up, when the market at 9 a.m. we get program trading. So I have a list here, but sometimes things do change. Regarding about this ALDX, so some buyers getting filled over here. It's a little bit on the downtrend. You had this big order that showed up here around $1.70. How much shares was that? Ooh, 200,000. Not bad. All right. We know you're out there, buddy. Thanks for sharing that information to us. $1.70. Listen, it could be a little bit of a gap fill right here. We covered that also in class 2, but ALDX, had a good move right around here. 830, went to 220. It's on a downtrend. Not bad. Like it. There's a stock. It's expensive, but it's getting crushed, destroyed. Paycom. Oh my God, those earnings were not good at all. Let me show you what happened yesterday. This did have a little slingshot, and it came back a little bit, but Seeing that stock at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock is not looking good. So going to give everyone a little advice. Stock is down literally almost 100 points. It's trading at 147 from 250. How much lower could this stock go? Anyone want to be able to answer that question? How much lower it could pay? It can go to 0. Good answer. There you go. Remember that. People are like, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose $100. I can't afford this loss. You know what? You go back in history, stock had a hell of a run. I mean, you got support levels here, 122, 98. But when I'm looking over here on level 4, I'm not seeing any buyers. I'm seeing sellers. Look at all these. Look at this big set. Look at this big red ball right here, and that little that bar. People are selling. Anyway, can we get a dead cat bounce on that? I wouldn't count on it right now, but it might be a fun stock to trade on the short side. All right. Anyway, so that one made our watch list. WeWorks. I was this close of buying WeWorks, and with his announcement, they just filed bankruptcy. Right? They just filed. And actually, believe it or not, that's actually a good sign, because when they file bankruptcy, or they basically wipe everything off their credit, and they could start all over again. But filing Chapter 7 versus filing bankruptcy could be a little bit different. Okay, so filing bankruptcy by next year is what they're doing. I don't know if they really have assets, because I know they lease a lot. So, and I was a big fan of WeWorks, but they have to probably be the worst management company I've ever seen in the world. The worst. The buildings they own, they took over something in my town. A huge, who went out of business? Lord & Taylor. Lord & Taylor went out of business. Okay. Big department store. If some people don't know, it's like Macy's. Actually, I liked it better than Macy's. Went out of business. They just rebuilt the store. Company files bankruptcy a year later. WeWorks comes in there. I have absolutely no clue what the hell WeWorks was going to be doing in a department store. Could you imagine Macy's? They take all the furniture out, and then they made it to a office building with no walls, just like tables everywhere. Like who was the rocket scientist who figured that one out, right? So anyway, once I saw that, I said, this is the worst company in the world. But looking at WeWorks, where it was about a year ago, 2 years ago at 600, after all the stocks looks down to $1.30. Listen, I don't care. We're day traders. They can do whatever they want. All I know is it's going to be fun to trade. If I can get a good day trade on it for all of us, we're in. All right. Only bad thing is I'm not seeing any orders out there. No one's interested in buying it. One last other stock I want to put up here is SoFi. Okay. SoFi also. SoFi had a really good move yesterday. I'm putting it back on the watch list. This stock had a good pop from 7 all the way to 750. She's still looking pretty strong. And, it's a fun stock. We've traded this stock, SoFi. So SOFI is going on the watch list. All right. So I know we had this stock, this CLLS, traded 16 million shares. Nice little push here, but I don't know. I just feel like she's not moving that much. To me, she looks like a buyout, actually, because she's up 170%. And since this morning, she's only up about 40 cents. One way to find out, I got to look over here on level 4. See what we got going on here. TGX is moving up. Yeah, what a great pop. Huge runner-up on that. Didn't I tell you the TGTX is a lot better to trade than an AMD or, a PayArc and everything else? Look at that thing. Since we started 9 o'clock, the stock's about $9.50. Look where it is now. It just ran $1.50. How beautiful is that, right? So that's why we trade these ones better than the other ones. Yeah, there's let me go just check on level 4 what happened. Yeah, that big buyer that showed up really pushed it up on TGTX. CLLS, a little bit of a Lego, nothing really crazy right there. It was a buyer right here. I'm not really seeing that much action, but we'll put on a watch list. All right, so let's get back. We got to cover. Okay, so we got class today. All right. Now remember, if you missed my class yesterday, we're gonna pick up today back at 9:30. If you want to learn how to get in, talk to Education Advisor, CyberTrader University. We're going to remember one of the big things, the big tools I covered. If you're one of my on-site classes, I was showing you how to actually, how to have a game plan on knowing where the price levels are. So you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, what's this chart doing? What's this chart doing? What's this chart doing? What's that chart doing? It's pretty easy. Piece of paper, write it down. We'll cover it again. That was a lot of fun. So, and I showed you how to do it on we did it on Coinbase. We did it on RTX, a bunch of other stocks. So we're going to pick that up. If you're watching on social media, like I said, just you got that QR code on the top left-hand card on the corner. Just basically just take your phone, scan it, register. If you're watching a video, if you're watching this later, feel free to come and join us whenever you want. You can come join our trading room. In the meantime, everyone, Cyber Traders, you see something, you say something. And if you are new here to CyberTrader University, please make sure you talk to Education Advisor so he can tell you what to expect and have the best experience you could have being part of our room. Good luck, everybody. Trade safe. And remember, it's the first day of the month. Let's not get too cocky, okay? So let's be careful and hopefully have a good November just like we had in October. Happy trading, everyone.